Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope that you guys are doing great today. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my final February perfume tray update. I'm going to be updating you guys on the fragrances that I have been wearing for the month of February. I am so ready to create another perfume tray, switch up the fragrances. I have really been wearing these so much and I'm kind of just ready for some new fragrances. So of course, after this, we're going to be doing my March perfume tray. If you are new to my channel, I do a whole lot of everything. I love all things girly. So I love beauty, fragrance, body care, self-care, you name it. I love to talk about it with you guys. So if you love that, don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you back in my future uploads. And with that said, let's jump right into this perfume tray update. I'm going to start off with the ones that I'm going to be decluttering from my collection. It's 4 fragrances. One of them I cannot believe that I'm gonna get rid of, but I feel like it lost the spark for me. It's still beautiful. It's still a nice fragrance, but I did not enjoy it like I used to. It just did not feel the same way anymore. And that, unfortunately, is Lancome La Vie Belle and Rose. I know. I hope that I don't regret it because this was my favorite flanker. It's my favorite bottle. The bottle is so beautiful. It's such a cute bottle. I feel like I pick up so much more of the rose now than I used to. When I first got this fragrance, I remember it having this intoxicating warmth to it, but I was able to pick up so much of the raspberry and the more like fruity notes in it. And I feel like lately, it's still sexy, it's still beautiful. It's definitely a fragrance that I would recommend. I still get a little bit of those red berries and the raspberry, but I feel like before, when I used to wear this, and this is super strange, when I was living in Puerto Rico, I was very excited to leave because I thought that being somewhere cold, I was going to enjoy my fragrances more, and it's been the opposite. And I did not want to say that, but I think I can confirm that it's been harder for me to wear fragrances lately. The heat over there, I don't know if it was the heat and the humidity, it would just do something to fragrances where they would just smell so good and they wouldn't give me headaches or anything. I don't know if the air here, I feel like the cold is very like still and there's just like no breeze. There's no, that tropical vibe is not there. So my fragrances are literally like just, it's such a different experience. Now this has the La Vie Belle DNA to it, but it's not, to me, it's not as sweet. It's more on the fruity side and more like sparkling when it opens up. But the rose is quite strong lately and it doesn't have that thick, warm kind of, I would say almost gourmand vibe that La Vie Belle has. But the La Vie Belle DNA is still in here. It's just a little bit less intense. But yeah, I think I'm ready to let this one go. And there's one that I'm missing a lot and I have been thinking about bringing it back to my collection is La Vie Belle Soleil Cristal. You guys know, if you've been watching me since the beginning of my channel, how much I love that fragrance. And then all of a sudden it turned into like almost bug spray on me. So I know a lot of you guys have been recommending for me to keep decants before I get rid of my fragrances, and I think I'm gonna do that just to be able to go back to them after some time. So I am gonna give this one a few sprays into a tiny bottle and then declutter this one from my collection. So if you follow my Mercari, I'm gonna be leaving the link in the description box. But if you're interested, these are going to be posted on my Mercari. So I am going to be posting this one. And another one that I made up my mind about, unfortunately, I was very hopeful for this fragrance. When I got it not too long ago, and I am not a fan of cherry. Cherry does not seem to work for me. I prefer strawberry, raspberry, berries in general, but cherry always at some point comes across medicinal to me. It comes across syrupy, thick, and almost synthetic. Like, it doesn't feel realistic to me. When I smell a cherry, like if I'm gonna eat cherries, they never smell the way that I smell them in perfumes. In perfumes, it's more of like this artificial medicine cherry. So I was very hopeful for this one because I did like this one much more than a lot of the cherry fragrances that I have been trying lately. And this is New Notes Latte The Cherry. So I did put this one in my tray and I started noticing that I was doing that thing where you look at it and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna wear you soon, but not today. That's kind of what I was doing with this. And I kept telling myself, Amy, take it out of your collection. If you're doing that, it doesn't have to be in your collection. This one has been the best cherry in this kind of scent category because I do have cherries that I do recommend. So if you're like me, I still love some fragrances that have cherry in them. For example, La Petite Robe Noir Eau Fraiche. That one has cherry, but it's like a tart, fresh, unisex, almost cologne type of cherry. It's not syrupy to me, and I really like that one. And one that I'm going to talk about in my update, which I have just, wow, fallen head over heels in love with. I do cherry here and there, but it's not my favorite note. And unfortunately, this one is not as woody as, for example, Kayali's Love Fest Burning Cherry, which with time got super duper woody on me, and I just couldn't handle that combination of cherry and wood because the cherry was syrupy, the wood was doing the wood, and it was just a mess for me. This one is a little bit easier to wear. I can definitely wear it if I wanted to. It won't bother me, it won't give me a headache, but I'm not going to reach for it. That's the thing with this. Like, it's just not me. The longevity is amazing. The performance is amazing on this. You get this sexy cherry. It's very, very sexy. Perfect for like date night, going out in the evening time. Performance is amazing. So I still definitely recommend, if you are a cherry lover, check out Latte The Cherry from New Notes. It's just not for me, unfortunately, but performance is beautiful. It is a little bit easier to wear than a lot of other cherries that I have tried because it kind of has like this airiness to it almost. It's not as thick as other cherry fragrances, but it's just not one that I didn't love it, unfortunately. I'm gonna give you guys an update on Zara's Pistachio Infusion. It's going to be leaving my collection as well. This was a fail, unfortunately, for me. When you first spray it, again, like I said in my video, it's been doing the same thing no matter how much I try it. It opens up beautiful, and then this funkiness comes into it that I do not enjoy. It's like, this little nutty pistachio kind of almost orangey blossom. I know there's not orange blossom in there, but I kind of get like that vibe from it, and then it just kind of goes, just kidding, and then it gives you like this stinky feet, charcoal, smoky, something that I just don't like. Pistachio Infusion is just a big no for me. It has not changed for the better, in my opinion. And then it's almost like I have to keep searching for it, but then when I do smell something, it's something that's a little smoky, charcoaly, funky smelling, and barely any pistachio in here. So this one's going to be on my Mercari along with the Secret Infusion. This one was very nice. The performance is amazing in this one. If you want a dupe for Versace Bright Crystal, this is awesome. It's just, I know I'm not going to reach for this a lot. It's a very bright scent, perfect for springtime, clean, almost shampoo-y, like you just got out of the shower and you're smelling squeaky clean and sparkling and pretty. Definitely for those of you who do not like super strong florals or very gourmand fragrances, you just like to smell fresh, clean, bright, happy. But the performance is really good in it. It lasts, and I can definitely smell this one when I spray it. So these two I'm going to list together. So now let's get into the perfume tray update for the rest of the fragrances. These that I'm going to talk about were just hits for me the entire month, along with the ones that I loved in the middle of the month for my first tray update. So we're going to start off with the one that I freaking fell in love with. I took my time with this fragrance. You guys know that. I hauled it and I kept telling you guys I would put it on my tray, and I'm like, this is not one that I'm going to declutter, but I'm not in love with it yet, but it's not a hate. But when I tell you I am in love with this fragrance. So this fragrance, I would wear it here and there, and it was a like, but then it was never like, oh, I'm so in love with this fragrance. And this month when I put this fragrance on, oh my God. This is BDK Parfums Rouge Smoking. Oh my God. This is my number one, I think, fragrance for the half of the month. Like, I put this on the other day and I was in love. This is cherry done right. It's cherry, but it's not in your face, it's not syrupy, and then there's like this warm smokiness to it, and like this smooth. It's so smooth. It's sexy, it's long lasting. I wear this to bed and I wake up the next day and I can still smell it on myself. I have seen people complain about the longevity with this one, but it smells amazing on me, and it lasts the entire night when I wear it to bed. And I'm definitely going to be putting a dent into this one now, because I definitely feel like after some time of sitting, this one has gotten just amazing. I liked it from day one, I really did, but now it's just perfection. Like, this fragrance is just what I think of when I recommend a cherry fragrance, or when I think of a cherry fragrance. This is what I would say is perfection. It's cherry, but it's like a hint of cherry. It has other notes. It's complex. It's not just straight up cherry. It does not smell like medicine or cough syrup or anything like that. It is so sexy. This is such a sexy fragrance, and it's definitely, I think it's gonna make its way up to like one of my favorites. This has all of the perfect notes to just make a cherry fragrance work. The bergamot, the pink pepper in the opening with the cherry brightens it up a little bit. It's not syrupy and too deep. There's vanilla in here, heliotrope, which adds like this powdery touch, but it's not too powdery. It is just everything. I love the longevity. I love the performance. People are going to smell you. Yes, they are, but it's not obnoxious. It's just like this sexy smell, and it just lingers on you, and it creates this beautiful scent bubble. Very, very sexy. I wouldn't wear it casually. I would reserve this for either the evening time to go somewhere, or it works really nice for bedtime as well. Like, I really, really like it at bedtime because it has like this warmth to it and this coziness, while still being sexy and still giving you cherry and still giving you like this feminine like energy to it that just makes you feel really, really good about yourself. I definitely recommend this one. If you're interested, I do have a 20% off code with So Avant-Garde. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and you can get a discount off of the fragrance. You can try a sample of it as well. They have samples most of the time. So this is the one that I've been enjoying so much. I'm so happy that I kept trying with that one. Next up, we have, of course, one that will forever be a love. There are some fragrances that I shouldn't say never, because it sometimes I get shocked with how I change and how our noses change, and something that you used to love can turn into something you don't like. But this one, I just have loved it for 3+ years, probably longer than that. This is Givenchy's Hot Couture, and this is the EDT. I don't know what is going on with this one. I don't know if it's never gonna come back. At one point I saw it repackaged into a new bottle. I'm not too sure what's going on, but I do have the older packaging. I've been wanting to purchase the EDP one to try it out. I've never tried the EDP version, but this right here is strawberry and raspberry, I believe. Those are both in here, but then you have this smokiness. It's very sexy, super duper sexy and bold. The fragrance community has always just described this one as like a badass chick. Like, she likes motorcycles, she wears leather jackets, she loves her red lipstick, and she has both sides to her. Like, she could have masculine energy, but she has a very feminine energy as well. That's what this is. It's just very sexy. It has that girly feeling to it, but it's not pink and daisies and I'm girly and I love everything pink. No, she's like, she can be like a tomboy at the same time. And sometimes I feel like I can relate to that. I'm a very, very girly girl, but then growing up, I was just very, just tomboyish. Like, we were always outside up in the woods getting scrapes and cuts, and I just feel like that's what this is. You're girly and you're flirty and you smell so pretty, but then at the same time you can get dirty and you don't care. You have like that inner tomboy. That's kind of like what this makes me think of. It's sexy, it's smoky, it's unique, it's juicy, yet it has that smokiness to it. It's really, really nice. And I have been kind of using it slowly because I don't want to run out of it, because I do have a dent going on in this one, but I need to figure out what's going on with this one. Like, if it's one that I could keep purchasing it, or is this one done? Let me know if you know. All right, so next up we have Juliet Has a Gun Magnolia Bliss. This was also a favorite from the moment that I got this fragrance. I really, really loved how unique it is, how different it is. This is not the same thing that gets released over and over. This has uniqueness to me. It has ginger in it, which I pick up a lot, but in like the best way. It adds like this spiciness to a very, very girly fragrance. Like, if it didn't have the ginger, I think this would smell exactly like the herbal essence shampoo that we used to use like in the 90s, like the pink one. I think it was like the rosy one. This reminds me of that, but it has that ginger that adds like this realistic feeling to it, and it has a spiciness to it, so it's very, very unique. I know some people don't pick up that spiciness in this one, but I definitely do. And it's not a spicy like where it makes it hot. It's a spicy, it's a fresh spicy. This smells so good. I wore this one to bed the other night as well. I didn't wear it as much. This is not one that I reach for all the time. I don't think that it's like an all-time favorite fragrance, but I do love how different it is. I love how it's sexy, it's fun, it's fresh. It has that spicy, zingy touch to it, but it still has like that super feminine touch in there. This also has nectarine, which I do love those types of notes. It has magnolia, freesia, and peony, which I love peony as a floral. There's no jasmine in here. The opening has citruses. It literally filled up the room right now. I did 2 sprays and my room smells like this fragrance, and it lasts very long. For it being a Juliet Has a Gun fragrance, this lasts a very long time on me. Like, the performance is great and I love the projection of it. It's just enough for me. It's perfect. It creates a beautiful scent bubble. I smell it on myself the entire time that I'm wearing it. And it's easy to pair it with like a lot of girly body care and just add a little extra unique touch to your scent. So if you haven't checked this one out, check it out. I did get this one from Twisted Lily and I do have a discount code for Twisted Lily as well. And I'm going to put it on the screen. It's Amy Glam 10. And they also sell samples on that website. So if you're interested in trying this fragrance, you can get a sample from there. Try it out, see how you feel about it. That one is a love. I'm so happy with that one. Next up, we have another favorite, which I don't reach for a lot, but this, I have always said it to you guys. It's a very unique fragrance, perfect for, you want to feel very powerful, feminine, classy. It's like a very classy fragrance and expensive. And this is Hermes Twily the Hermes Au Poivre. And the bottle is so cute. I've always loved this bottle. And whenever I wear this fragrance, I feel very, very fierce. You feel unstoppable. You feel very classy, but powerful and sexy at the same time. The notes for this fragrance just always make me kind of giggle because it's the notes that I always say that I don't really enjoy. This has pink pepper, rose, and patchouli. Like what? Somehow they come together and they create like this just very, it's sophisticated, it's powerful, yet feminine and beautiful at the same time. It's just very unique. So these fragrances that I have been talking about in this update are very, very unique. They don't smell like every other perfume out there. They have like their own personality. And this one, performance, out of this world. You will smell it on yourself the entire time that you're wearing this one. Now, this is one that you do want to try out first for sure, because this one's going to be polarizing. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. I don't reach for this one a lot. I like to wear this one when I'm gonna go to have dinner somewhere, when I'm gonna go out, when I'm dressed up. I do not put this on a casual day, and I don't wear it to bed because it's a little too strong. So this one's for me is for going out. Next up, we have Nishan 100 Silent Ways. This one shocked me this month, you guys. This one has been sitting in my collection for the past 2-3 months, I would say, and it started off as like this vanilla that it's not a gourmand vanilla, and it's not like a sweet vanilla. Like, it's not your typical vanilla. It's kind of like your more, I would say, floral vanilla. I feel like it's a little elevated and sophisticated and very, very beautiful, and it has gotten better with time. And I definitely pick up the peach in here now so much more than I used to when I first got it. When I first got this fragrance, it was really nice. I always raved about it, but it was a little bit subdued. It was a little bit more close to the skin, and I feel like the longer it's been sitting in my collection, it's getting better and a little stronger and a little more noticeable when you wear it. And that peach in here is so good. The tuberose is starting to show up, but it gives it like this bubblegummy tuberose pinch. It's not too much. It's not like My Way or like L'Interdit, but it has that little tuberose in there mixed with the peach. So it's very juicy, but yet you get that soft vanilla in there as well. There's gardenia in here. I don't pick up a lot of gardenia. It's not too strong. There's jasmine in here as well. It's beautiful. This is the type of fragrance where I hate jasmine, but it's done beautifully in this fragrance. And these are the types of fragrances that I appreciate, because the jasmine is not in your face, it's not loud, it's not animalic or screechy. It's just feminine, delicate, it's dainty. It feels really, really beautiful. This is not like a super sexy fragrance, but it just smells so good. It's a really beautiful vanilla fragrance, very sophisticated smelling. This is another one that I don't pick up like for everyday wear. I like to wear this one like if I'm going, again, to go have a dinner somewhere. I don't do super exciting things. You guys might see me with my makeup done and all that. I do that for YouTube because makeup is it's my passion. I love makeup since I was so young, and I love to express that. But most of the time I'm home, I'm with my kids. So this type of fragrance would be like for, say, a Friday, I'm gonna go to have dinner with my family, or someone's birthday, or you're gonna dress up and go somewhere, just that type of vibe. It's not one that I would pick up on a regular day. But for bedtime, it's also really nice because it's not too strong. So love that one. I'm loving that one so much. Next up, we have Valentino Donna Born in Roma Pink. And this one was unfortunately limited edition. Not sure why, because honestly, to me, this is the best that they have came out with. Apart from Coral Fantasy, which is more of a summertime fragrance, and I honestly don't associate that one with the Born in Roma line. This one is just the perfect scent for when I want to go out, when I want to have something that smells a little bit more elevated, just like the previous ones that I talked about. But it has this sweetness to it, and it has like this playfulness and this flirtiness to it while still smelling beautiful. This one is beautiful. It is kind of like what I wanted from the original Donna Born in Roma, but it doesn't give me a headache. It's not screechy. It doesn't give me like that weird feeling I got in my throat with the regular Donna Born in Roma. This one smells so nice. It has like that citrusy touch in it. So I feel like adding that mandarin to this fragrance and it's orange blossom instead of jasmine was perfection for me. So if you are picky with jasmine or you didn't like the original one, this one is much better. So if for some reason you come across someone selling it or you see it somewhere, it is amazing. I'm so happy that I got the big bottle of this one, which I rarely do that. I love the bottle also. Like, this bottle is so gorgeous. I love to look at it. This one is one that I'm really, really loving as well. Performance is great as well. Next up, we have Atier Des Ors. I can never say that name. This is Pink Me Up. This is another one. Again, I don't reach for it all the time, but I love having these options for those special occasions where I want to dress up. It is like a champagne-y, sparkling floral. If you did not like Mon Guerlain, I spoke about that in a recent video. If Mon Guerlain had way too much patchouli for you, it was too dirty, but you like the scent DNA apart from that, this is very similar, but it doesn't give you that dirty vibe. It's very flirty, fun. I picture like a dress that's very glittery, chunky, maybe some sparkly eye makeup, just that type of fun dressing up. Like maybe even going out with girlfriends, a night out around the town or something. Like, this is the type of scent that it just smells so good. And it's rose. It's definitely rose, but it's the type of rose that I can definitely do. It doesn't give me a headache. It's not screechy, but this isn't an all-time favorite either. It's just one that I like to have in my collection for those types of moments. Like, I can definitely see this one being a birthday fragrance. It's just very girly. Like, I always describe a lot of my fragrances as girly. I love feminine scents, so it's definitely very feminine. It has this youthfulness to it. It's fun. It's flirty. It's very, very flirty. And it does have a champagne note. I usually don't go for those types of fragrances, but it's done beautifully in here. So that's another one I really, really have been loving. Next up, we have Kayali's Eden Sparkling Lychee. And this one I wore the other day and I did like it. And surprisingly, I smelled it on myself a lot. So it was pretty loud when I put it on. Now, again, the longevity is still kind of like at the 2-3 hour mark for me. It doesn't last like a very long time, but I definitely can smell it when I spray it on, and I'm going to continue to wear it maybe closer to summertime to see how it performs. This isn't a favorite. I wouldn't say it's a favorite, and it's not one that I am like going crazy over, but it's an easy reach. It's girly. It's lychee, but it's not super tart or sour. It's just fun. It kind of smells like Jolly Ranchers to me, like hard candy, like those Jolly Ranchers kind of is what it makes me think of. It doesn't make me think of like gummies or anything. It's more like those hard candies. For sure, it has that scent to it. Very, very girly, very youthful, flirty, fun. It's not too juvenile, and it does not remind me of body mist per se. I feel like it is a little bit stronger than a body mist, but it's definitely not a favorite either. So I don't want to label this one as like, um, um, oh my God. This one isn't one that I would say like, oh my God, you have to run out and get this one. But it's very likable at the same time. This has blackcurrant, sparkling lychee, rose. It has violet, sugared amber, sandalwood. It's very, very girly and fun, but I do prefer my Eden Juicy Apple. So if I had to choose between the two, I'm more of a Eden Juicy Apple girl. But it has been fun and it's easy to wear. You can wear it on an everyday basis. It can be casual and it's just a very fruity, sparkling, girly type of scent. So this one's really nice, but not an ultimate favorite. And then last but not least, here we have Serge off Italica. Here is the bottle. This one is so good. This is a gourmand lover's dream. It is so thick. It's so intoxicating. It has almost like this nuttiness in there, along with a very thick sweetness, but it's not sweet like cake. This fragrance to me is so unique. It's so different. It is creamy. It's gourmand. It's sweet. There's a nuttiness in there because there is almond, there's toffee in there. So I do get kind of like the dryness also in there, like that texture. It's almost like you can smell that. Now, this is not one that I reached for a lot just because of how I've been a little bit more sensitive lately, but every single time that I spray this, I just fall in love with it. So I do need to use it some more. So this is one that I need to take my time with, just like how I did with my BDK Rouge Smoking. Like I love it. It's intoxicating, but it's not a complete favorite yet, if you guys get what I mean. Like I'm still working with it. I'm still wearing it. But when I tell you it smells, it's gourmand. Yeah, it definitely smells like something edible, but it's not your usual like cake smells or nothing like that. It just smells very rich, thick, yummy, creamy. It's like milky. It's worth trying. This is definitely worth trying. It's very unique, but I will say you have to be a gourmand lover. If you are not a gourmand lover, if you do not like milky, creamy, sweet fragrances, you will probably not like this. This is not one that I would pull out every single time. This is kind of like when I'm having like a gourmand craving, but it's not the type of fragrance that I go to right away. I usually go to like my girly, pretty, flirty fragrances. Like that's kind of what I pull more towards, but this is really nice to have in your collection, especially gourmand lovers. Ooh, it's so good. It's so, so good. There's also saffron in there, and that's what gives it like that. It just smells elevated. It smells expensive. It smells luxe, but it's gourmand and it's sweet and creamy at the same time. So really, really nice. So that is my update for the month of February. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below if you have tried any of these fragrances, how you love them, how they work for you. Cannot wait to hear your thoughts. And coming up, we're going to be switching out my tray. I'm feeling like I'm going to be adding some freshies in there, even though the weather is a little bipolar. So I need to add a little bit of everything in March tray. But I am going to start working my way into those spring fragrances, which I have been eyeing for a while. I've been ready for them. So yeah, I cannot wait for March. I cannot wait to put the perfume tray together. So thank you so, so much for spending this time with me today. I love you guys so, so much. With that said, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Check out my Mercari because I am going to be posting those fragrances soon if you're interested. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next one.